Hi everybody. Um, this is the second time I actually recorded this because as I was recording it I realised I'd double done two bits like you do. And I'm sorry if you can hear the birds in the background. I've moved them and it's been stormy and sunny and they are been chattering away. Probably they're being very British and talking about the weather. Anyway, I'm sorry if any of you can't see close up what I'm doing. I've had to reconfigure the camera because this is a larger piece of paper than my usual workspace will allow me to work on. It is a large A2 or A1. I'm not 100% sure. So do bear with me in this series of different angles that you will get. I'm really pleased that I sketched this out first so that I could get the composition the way I wanted it and the fish the way I wanted it, because part of this challenge for me is to do it all in one colour and to work with ink more as a wet medium than a dry pen and ink. So it's been really interesting. And one of the things with wet ink as well is I didn't use any rag based paper nor watercolor paper because I didn't really want the bubbles in the paper. I wanted it to be quite smooth, so the water containment within the paper is very limited. So if you actually outline an area and then go to wet your brush again, you are left with a barrier, which is something I became quite aware of quite quickly. So this was something I had to address quite quickly and think about, or be mindful about, how I was going to apply the ink. And I watered it down quite heavily because I wanted, and wait for it, I hate to say it, but there's no other way around it, I wanted different shades of grey. Please, whoever published that book, please will you recall it and rename it, because for us artists it is a nightmare. Anyway, I wanted very grades of grey. I wanted to put some shadows in it, reflecting that there is another fish beside it. Even if in real life that fish is quite small, I did want some kind of definition, some 3D element to it. And you can see now that I am shading the fish in. I mean, sharks are really lovely to paint anyway. It's really lovely and smooth. It's a great one to start with. There's not a lot of definition to it, so it is lovely. And when I stood back to take photographs for Instagram and at the end of this video, I was really pleased with the results I've managed to achieve, because it's really difficult to show water on a very smooth surface. So for my first attempt, I must say I was quietly chuffed to bits, and it's been a really busy day for me. So to go into the studio quickly and see if the camera worked was good, and I had a you know, obviously this is edited down. It did take me a lot longer to do this and than you are seeing it. Obviously you can see it speeded up, and because I have been busy with Swindon Open Studios. I do have some work still in Swindon Museum, a pot based on some work by Ben Nicholson. So if anybody is in the Swindon or Wiltshire area and would like to pop along and have a look in the museum, there are some pieces left from Swindon Open Studio. But the museum has given me Pot of the Month, which I am chuffed to bits about. Swindon Art Gallery and Museum is only tiny, but we do actually have one of the biggest art collections outside of London, to our claim to fame. Now, if nobody has actually taken on the challenge, you know, that are watching this, of Inktober, just go and have a go. It is amazing what you will find at the end of 31 days. I mean, one of the things that I found by just drawing out the composition was, because it was a big task and it gave me the opportunity to roughly sketch out and then really look at what I was drawing, go back and really look at each piece, and so that when I do ink it up, to see what it will be like, more true real life, if that makes any sense. Or am I rambling? I have no idea. I'm so tired. Work. I've asked some of my students as well to take part in Open Studios, and if any of you are watching this, hi, and no cheating. So I have encouraged them to watch it, but whether they do or not, I don't know. But I have some interesting lists, because some of them are young. I asked them to create their own list. So I may have some 31 Harry Potters to look at, different things to do with Harry Potter, and musical instruments. One of them wanted to do 31 days in the life of B. If you don't want to follow the prompts, and it's not set in stone, and you find something that interests you, find 31 ways of drawing it out. I mean, no one's going to come round, the purist police, not going to come around actually and shoot you, because, that's their problem. Jake Parker designed this so that we would become to grips with a medium that we have not used very often. And I must say, ink is one of the things that I don't use that often, but I'm sure there are people out there that may be not filming this but actually be looking at watercolor or drawing, or it's actually 31 days to improve a skill. And that's the way I'm going to approach this, is one opportunity to do a large piece of work, which will give me little respites in between work, and just to have some fun really, and some relaxation. But anyway, before I go, please, I would love it if you would comment. I'd love it if you thumbs up and like. But most of all, I would love you to subscribe, because then I know somebody out there is actually watching me. And maybe if you've got any comments on how to do things, or processes, or things that you'd like to see me do in the future while I'm still doing this, or other projects, please do so. See you soon. Bye bye.